It's personal between me and you, and I'm going to do you some serious harm, you big stiff idiot.
The Untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing games are missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Alright, so in this video, we're going to talk about the pretty boy himself, and I ain't talking about pretty boy Floyd Mayweather. I'm talking about the Australian pretty boy, Michael Zerafa. Yes, that Michael Zerafa, because as many of you know, I was at the WBA convention, and the WBA has, in fact, ordered Michael Zerafa to fight for the world title against Erislandy Lara because he sat back patiently for well over a year and been to 2 WBA conventions, petitioned for his title shot. And now he deserves his shot, right? You know, if we're going to have a ranking system in boxing, it's good that we honor it at some point, right? Because he's done what he needed to do to get into the position to become, you know, the #1 contender and these kind of things, right? And for those that know, for those that don't know, that whole like verbal dispute, that whole back and forth that had Bernard Hopkins and Samson and Elvis Grant and Elliot Grant ready to fight each other, that was over the whole Michael Zerafa, Erislandy Lara situation because Samson represents Lara, Elvis Grant represents Zerafa. Obviously, there's been a whole back and forth with this fight not being able to happen, right? So, you know, clearly there were some words being said. Now, speaking of Lara, I just want to be honest about Erislandy Lara, right? Because Zerafa had agreed to take a step-aside money and allow Lara to fight Danny Garcia for the world title. Now, I hated that fight because Danny Garcia is not really a welterweight, and they weren't even going to fight at the... my bad. He's not really a middleweight, I should say, not welterweight. He's not a middleweight. And they weren't even going to fight at the middleweight limit. So they were, in my humble opinion, my perspective, they were disgracing the middleweight division. They were devaluing fighting for the world title by not fighting at the proper weight. And I just thought it was a garbage-ass fight, just to be honest with you, just to be blunt. And so when you look at Lara, you want to talk about PBC fighters being inactive over the years. This guy's been one of the poster childs for it. You know, he's a constant guy that only fights, 12 to 18 months max, sometimes even longer. He didn't fight at all in 2023. He only fought once in 2022. And the last time he was in the ring was in the middle of 2022 against Gary Spike O'Sullivan. So we're talking about well over a year of inactivity for Lara. He has been one of the guys holding up this weight class. And so he needs to fight Michael Zerafa next because Michael Zerafa has been kind of getting screwed. I know in Australia, Michael Zerafa doesn't have a great reputation because of what happened with Tim Tszyu. So I just noticed from when I posted my interview how much vitriol there is towards Michael Zerafa. But, to me, I mean, apart from the Tszyu thing, right, you look at the rest of his career, he fought Kell Brook, gave a good account of himself against Kell Brook. He fought Peter Quillen. He's fought Jeff Horn. He's fought some good guys domestically in Australia, Isaac Hardman, Wade Ryan. So he's been a guy that, for the most part, has some substance on his resume. And I think, he's at a good age where he hasn't taken, like, a ton of punishment. He's 32. I think he's like 31 or 32. So if he's ever going to win a world title, it's got to be now. And look, Lara is a guy that I do feel, first of all, just being honest with you guys, Lara is a good fighter. But I think if you want to talk about fighters that are living off the glory of a fight where it might, I thought he lost to Canelo. I know a lot of people thought he beat Canelo. Even Michael Zerafa said he thinks he beat Canelo. I disagree. I thought Canelo actually beat Lara, and it was one of his better performances. That's just me, though. But he's been living off of that almost win for years now. And people, I think, overrate Lara so grossly, because of that performance. Not to say that he's not a good fighter, but, I mean, if you just take a look at his career in a vacuum since the Canelo fight, I mean, Ishe Smith, good fighter, beat him. Delvin Rodriguez. And then, I remember he had a period of time where he was just cherry-picking. When Al Haymon got that money from Waddell and Reed and was just overpaying dudes, he was cherry-picking hell. Jan Zevic, Yuri Foreman, guys that weren't even, true 154-pounders, just moving them up to 154. He beat Terrell Goucher, was a good fighter. Lost to Jarrett Hurd. Had a draw with Brian Castano. Then he fought Canelo's brother. I just don't think he's got the most impressive resume for all the hype and hoopla he gets, right? So when I look at the potential prospects of a Michael Zerafa, Erislandy Lara fight, Zerafa hasn't quite cut it at the world level. You know, when he stepped up to the guys like, you know, Peter Quillen and you know, he had a little back and forth with the aging Jeff Horn. I get all that, you know, but you know, lost to Kell Brook, but I do think he has learned. I think he's learned and got some good experience in these fights. I do think his legs might be the bit fresher of the two. So I just think it's a closer fight than people think it is. And I would like to see the fight. I really would, because you know, Lara and Danny Garcia is a disgrace to the middleweight division. And this guy Zerafa has been kind of dicked around, just to put it bluntly. He's been dicked around by the WBA. So I hope that they do right by him and follow through with what was said at the convention and give him his shot, because he's waited around for a long time. And if Danny Garcia and Lara couldn't come to an agreement and make the damn fight happen, that's on them. That's not his fault, right? So I like the fight. I think Lara has become more of a power punching fighter over the last couple of years. He's been sitting down on his punches more. Be very intriguing to see how he does that with a younger, fresher fighter in Zerafa. You know, Lara is 5'9" with a 75-inch reach, so he's got longer arms, but Zerafa's a little taller, so he has to punch upwards. And you know, if Zerafa boxes tall and understands his range, it could be a fight where he has opportunities to counterpunch. So I do think there is a path to victory for Zerafa. I would make Lara a favorite in that fight, like probably like 60-40. But I think Zerafa would be a live dog. I think it'd be kind of a fight where it's the right fight at the right time, and that's why I give him a chance. But hopefully they can make the fight happen, because this division needs to move along. I mean, like just to talk about the rest of the division, you got Emma Williams, who's the number 3 contender, fighting the number, I think, 5 contender, and Connor Coyle on the Pete Dobson Conor Bennett undercard on February 3rd. So the winner of that's going to be close to a title shot. You got Ian Green, who I was, you know, vouching for in front of the committee, who they just pushed up from 9 to 7. He's going to be looking to build off of a very great 2023, and he's going to want a title shot at some point. So this is a fight that has to happen so that the division can move on, and that we have more clarity and transparency as to who's who in the middleweight division. So it's a good fight. I think it's a good fight. I'm not sure if this fight winds up happening in America or Australia. I mean, from what I've been told by the Aussies, Michael Zerafa's not like a big name in Australia, but who knows? You know, it all depends on who's willing to put up the money. If PBC put up the money for the fight, I'm sure Zerafa will have no problem taking that long flight, because he was explaining to me at the convention, because I asked him, I said, how long is it of a flight from Australia to Orlando? And he explained to me that it's a long flight from Australia to Florida. So if he can do that to come to Florida for the convention, I'm sure to fulfill his dream of becoming a world champion, he would definitely get on that plane and cross that water if the money's right and it's time to fight Lara. But I like the fight a lot, and I think at this stage of his career where Lara is like, what? I know Lara's got to be like, how old is Lara now? Lara's got to be in his 40s, and you know these Cubans, their age is never quite what they say it is. He's exactly 40 on the dot. So, I think a win over Zerafa at this point for Lara would actually be one of his better wins, because if you look at the guys he's been fighting as of late, I mean, Greg Vendetti, club fighter, Thomas Lamana, glorified club fighter, Gary O'Sullivan, you know, lower level contender. You know, he hasn't really been fighting no killers. I think Zerafa would be the best guy he's probably defeated since what? Probably since Terrell Goucher. Probably his best win in 6 years, if we're being honest. So hopefully it happens soon, but let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Make sure you guys take the time to subscribe. And like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Daniel. So until next time, take care, guys. Thank you for watching another video on the untouchable True School Sports Empire. For more great boxing content just like this video, click right here and make sure you subscribe. Much love from sunny South Florida.